Today, I'm going to be talking about how to find the perfect pair of Tango shoes. Those of you that dance salsa and ballroom will probably find this information really good too. I'm going to be talking today about heel height, the shape of the heel, and the material of the shoe, and also the bag that you put the shoes in for storage, and also about the activity in which you're going to wear the shoes. Is this dancing for a choreographic rehearsal? Or are you at a local milonga for a couple of hours? Or are you going to be at a festival for days? All of these things are important to consider in choosing the right shoe. So let's get started. So now let's talk heels. I'm going to be talking about heel height, heel shape, and surface area of your foot in contact with the floor. And that's going to be really important. So when you walk on the floor with flats or barefoot, here's my foot. This is the surface area of my foot hitting the floor. I have a lot of surface area, so therefore I'm going to be much more stable when I walk, and it's going to be much easier. If I put on a stiletto, basic tango shoe, the surface area of my foot in contact with the floor is greatly diminished. All of a sudden I have this tiny little heel, this little pedestal to balance on, which requires a lot of control and stability. And the forefoot area in contact with the ground is greatly diminished. And so this shoe is going to be harder on the foot and harder on the body to wear. So I would say this is going to be for short periods of time, for just a performance, but not for an entire marathon. The other thing to think about is the higher the heel, the more physiologically your body weight is going to be shifted to the forefoot. This is about a 4-inch heel. And so all my body weight is going to be shifted to the metatarsal heads of my foot here, and the ball of the foot is really going to take a beating. There are many shoe manufacturers now that are putting in orthotic material at the forefoot to help cushion it there. There are also pads that you can slip on over your foot and then put your shoe on that is going to pad the bottom of your foot when you're dancing. And these will make it more comfortable, but it's not taking away the physiologic damage because your weight is now shifted all the way over the forefoot. That also will translate forces to the knee. That's another video. If I were to bring this heel down just an inch to a 3-inch heel, my weight is going to be shifted slightly back. The surface area on the ball of the foot is going to be slightly more. So even going down an inch is going to help support the foot better and give you better contact area of the floor. And then we look at the heel shape. This is very skinny, very limited contact area with the ground. If I go to a 1-inch heel tango shoe, which I have found now, you can see that the heel is a little bit blockier. And so this is going to give me more contact area with the floor, better control. Also a little more contact area with the forefoot with the lower heel. Better stability, I can dance longer periods of time. Then for even more support and control, we have block heel. They are being made now. This one has a cute little ankle strap, so it looks very cute on the foot. But with this block heel, it's low to the ground, that's one thing. But also my surface area greatly improved here. My ankle and my foot does not have to work as hard as when it does in the stiletto. So this is another type of shoe to consider if you're having to dance long periods of time, or if you're doing a tango rehearsal for a long period of time. This is going to be a good shoe to practice in, dance long periods. And then you have the tango flat, and there are loads of these. They make these in Mary Jane's. This is a little split sole shoe that I bought years ago in BA. A lot of contact area with the ground, very comfortable to wear. So when your feet have had enough and you still want to dance, this is the good thing to go to. But it's better to go to these shoes before your feet are hurting to the point of no return, not when your feet are already really sore. The other thing to think about when you're wearing the tango flat is if you raise up onto the ball of your foot and dance around like this in the tango flat, you're kind of defeating the purpose of having this nice contact area with the ground. You can walk through the foot and use the whole foot to dance. And so that's going to be the subject of another video. So heel height, heel shape, and how much contact area I have with the floor is going to help determine which shoe I wear. So now let's talk about the different types of material shoes are made out of. I'm going to go from the least forgiving, stiffest material to the most forgiving, the most pliable material, the most comfortable. So the least forgiving material, the material that's going to be stiffer and most uncomfortable for the foot, is going to be the patent leather. They're shiny, they're slick, but they're not going to give a lot. Next in line are cloth. Okay, so this is a satin shoe. Any type of cloth material, again, is going to be much less forgiving on the foot, less comfortable to wear. Now we're going into the more comfortable spectrum. Leather, any color, basic leather, really easy, really pliable. And then lastly, the most comfortable, suede. And also, if you have this solid band across your forefoot instead of little bands across your forefoot, that's going to be much more comfortable for longer periods of time. So again, patent leather and cloth, least comfortable, least flexible. Better is going to be leather, and the best is going to be suede. The only consideration that you should think about with a suede shoe is if you're dancing for long periods of time and your foot sweats, or you're in a very warm environment, it's going to expand with your foot. And so if your foot swells, this is going to get stretched out. I haven't had the problem of the shoe getting overstretched with time, but it's a possibility more with the suede shoe than the leather. So the last subject about Tango shoes I'd like to cover is the bag for your shoes. Now, ballet dancers already know this. After they finish performing, rehearsing, they put their pointe shoes into a mesh bag, something that looks kind of like fishnet. And so that helps the shoes dry out and it makes them last longer. So why aren't we doing this with our Tango shoes? When we buy Tango shoes, usually we get a little satin pouch of sorts like this that we put our shoes in, not very breathable. And then some manufacturers actually have been sewing mesh into their shoe bags. And so this makes it a little bit more breathable, but not a lot. So what I would recommend is either getting a mesh bag for your Tango shoes, or once you go home, take your shoes out of your bag and let them air out just for like a day or so, and they're going to last much longer that way. So I hope you enjoyed this video about how to choose the perfect Tango shoe, and happy dancing.